The following program is meant for adult audience. Meant for adult audiences only. If you are easily offended, you are choosing to be offended by continuing to watch. If jokes upset you, whether bad or good, you might end up crying. Being a bitch in life is difficult, I imagine, but you must find a way to continue. For all the haters and lurkers, hope you enjoy the show. For the bigot army, enjoy the show. Don't be a pussy.
そうだ。テレビつけてもいいぞ。
冒険アニメ。
よりによって。
サイレンサー付きの拳銃だと。
ワクワク。
Here we go! Lucha, 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 lucha! It's the way of life!
There is a fifth dimension, beyond that which is known to man. It is a dimension as vast as space and as timeless as infinity. It is the middle ground between light and shadow, between science and superstition, and it lies between the pit of man's fears and the summit of his knowledge. This is the dimension of imagination. It is an area which we call
the Grifter Zone.
Good moo! Oh, you found your moo!
My crew is big and it keeps getting bigger. That's 'cause Jesus Christ is.
Man, I want to get drunk in a hotel room with you.
That might be taken out of context.
Gay, gay, gay.
Oh. Hypno. How is it my fault? What? The bragging gifted this and I'm immediately called an anti-Semite? Come on, dog.
Bruh.
What are these characters? Nazi furry? Hypno, why would you do this to me? Said, welcome to Goonergate. Protect your booty hole.
What's up, nerds? It's Alyssa Mercante, Kotaku senior editor, and
nobody even wants you here.
And I would take her to Chili's, maybe. You know, like, genuinely, I just want the best for her. Genuinely.
Listen, if it was consensual and you didn't hate the Jews, I'd fuck the shit out of you. I would.
What did he say? People are gonna clip that. You know that I don't.
Clip it. I know you don't. Come on. But that's the thing. Why can't we have fun?
Bruh. That's an interesting way of putting. That makes sense.
He's jealous. Fuck yeah. Been knew I was that bitch. I didn't need a man to tell him to fuck.
And Hypnotic again, member for 1 month. Thank you. Enjoy First Berserker. What's that black stuff between an elephant's toes? Slow natives. Wait.
Wild.
Yeah. On the other end of the spectrum. Yes.
Okay.
I'd say that goes out of dad into dark, but sure, yeah.
Definitely dark.
Somebody replies and it says, "This is embarrassing." And he says, "Not as embarrassing as your take on trans kids. It was not researched. It was cruel and it had no basis in facts. So forgive me if I don't take all your takes that seriously." Who's this person?
Bruh.
Look at the fucking thumbnail. God of Cock Meltdown. Oh my God, look at this. Oh man. Yeah, sure. Trans kids, for sure, man.
Right, but you're giving an opinion on an article with a headline that's inflammatory. So the fact that you're giving an opinion on what's on screen,
Did I focus on the inflammatory nature of the headline?
Well, can I assume that everything in this article you would agree with?
You shouldn't assume. It makes an ass out of yourself and me.
Okay, so
down his timeline, you're gonna see a lot of ass and titties. Okay, me on my Twitter timeline, you ain't gonna see none of that. As a matter of fact, like I can show you, I can scroll down my entire news feed on Twitter. Why would you ruin my point? I'm trying. God damn. Why would you ruin it? I didn't do that. I don't know who this chick is. Why would you do that? I can't even edit it out.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Someone you love been canceled? Have you been the target of online harassment because of something you said or refused to be compelled to say by the mob? Did you mistakenly think you could be an individual, form your own opinions, and keep all of your friends?
Titty
Did your social
freakers.
credit score tanked because you had a conversation with, subscribe to, or follow someone who suffers from wrongthink? Have you been called a literal Nazi because you think taking care of one's physical health is important? Have you tried apologizing for your transgressions only to find out you actually poured gasoline on the they-them flames? Have you ever had a politically incorrect thought or, heaven forbid, made an off-color joke? Well, we here at the Office of the Cancelled are here for you. As a member of the club, we offer exclusive trading cards, black jackets, lapel pins, access to bomb shelters, as well as audio tracks from based artists that are sure to pump you up for a day at the range and get some of that much-needed two-way therapy. Remember, folks, you're only canceled if you let yourself be canceled, and every one of those collectivist NPCs can go fuck themselves.
Eating the dogs, they're eating the cats. Eat the cat, eat the cat.
I'll wait some time because the longer we wait, like the more realistic it'll be, you know, when he comes back to life. The touch of the black man in a woke story. The God hand shining down, shining upon thee. White man as you lay down. This white man and couple in background. Understand the power of a black man is a God hand.
Pro-black Twitter!
Breathe life into you. One touch is not enough from greatness. One touch from the black man. Watch me do it again. Kneel and be amazed at the touch of the black man. I bring life. I bring life.
Pro-black Twitter hoes!
That's right! That's right!
Robocock, don't clip that, no!
Bruh.
That's getting clipped.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
Oh, shit. I was doing so good tonight, too.
Drops, retard. Robocock.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Hypnocast. That's right, man. We are live, boys. We are live. We are live. We are live. We're going to dive down the rabbit hole that is known as the internet. But before we do that, you need to bring it in and let's go. Come on. Why is there bananas? Why was there bananas in between the hugging emojis? Lucky, what are you doing? What's with the bananas? It's a little bit scary. Come on, guys, hug it out. Let's go. Hurry up. Let's go. We don't got a lot of time. We don't got a lot of time. Hurry up, man. Bananas are fun. That's weird. That's weird. All right, listen very closely. If you're watching on YouTube, like this stream. Let's go. Let's go. If you're watching on Rumble, like the stream. If you're watching on Twitter, like the post. And if you are watching on Twitch right now and you don't have a like button, all I got to say, man, is at this point, listen, Kata's out there, okay? He's a foot bandit for a reason. Right now, he's in Vegas licking everyone's feet, including Leon's, Badger's, Moxie's, everybody's right now. I will send him to you. I swear to God, I will send him to your house. I will send him to your house if you do not find a like button within the next 7 days. I will send him to your house. He will suck on every toe. Do you understand? He will literally look like this. So go find a like button, okay? I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you're waiting for. Go find it. All right? Go find it. All right, guys, can I get a mic check, please? Mic check, titty check, balls check. What are we checking, man? What are we checking today? Let's go. Let's go, chat. What are we checking today? How about this? I'll start us off. South of Midnight is officially finished. Check. Oh, my God. Thank God. Thank God. Can I cheer myself for that one? Can I cheer myself for that one? Jeez, man. Jeez. Come on. Let's go. What are we checking? Thick tomboys check? That's what we're checking? Drunk as fuck check? Nice. Testicular fortitude check? Always. Butt check? Absolutely. Having dinner check? Yeah, I was too, and then the show had to start, so I had to interrupt my dinner, but that's okay. Oblivion remaster check? Yep, that looks like it's going to be a thing. Moxie check? She's here somewhere. No, she's not. She's in Vegas. Toe sucking check? Ill. Graduating soon for Gura check? Nice. Miss Sparkles check? Nice. ABF hiding from Leon in the underground Vegas bunker check? Absolutely. Gooning check? Always. What's next check? You'll find out soon. Bounty check? Not really. Dipped cookies check? That sounds interesting. Check yourself before you wreck yourself check? Interesting. 5060 Ti is expensive check? That's true. All right, guys, listen. Our ESG scores are at their maximum. We are fully funded. Like the stream, boys. Let's go. Come on. We got to do the Big and Ugly roll call. Let's see who is in this chat right now, aside from former Kotaku urinalists, black samurais that unfortunately do exist, and people that swear South to Midnight is a 10 out of 10 perfect game, and yet I died on the final boss and I had to restart the game because the game froze and bugged out at the death screen. Oh, man, the shit that I go through, man, I swear. We got the Clown Shark, Tim Grove, Randall the Vandal, Miss Sparkles, Retromania, War Maniac 209, Toxin, Tim Grove again, Monkey Man 04, Yamato 85. We got... shit. St. Hugo. The Modifiers. Radio Chimp. Dragon. Debuff Bluff. Anime Mania 500. Thwarted Geek. Yamato 85. K Gounet Queen. Scooby Pop. We got Lex Icebox. Nick Havoc. We got Louis Messina. Matt Stanford. We got Revco. We got Triple J Jr. Rudoka, The Voice in the Water, The Modifiers, Sleeping Nova, Matthew, Commander Sonak, Latino Heat, Uncle Ricky M, Michael Wells. We got Stin Rocks, Secret Final Boss, Valerian LT, Blue Octopussy. We got Anime Mania 500, The Gaming Wolf 87, Jay Sims, Alice Smith, Brunner War Savage, Cesar Velasquez, T-Jazz Art in Comics, Raziel, Donkey Kong, Real, Demek Boy, Shane Uso, Brunch Princess, Jason Alator, Felstef, Sebrew 1138, The Nerdy Mechanic, Piranha Pal, Mr. Disaster 2000, XL Tomahawk, Mystic Vegeta. All right, guys, 4 more, and that's it. That is literally all I can call. I swear to God, stop asking me to do 4 more. I tell you guys all the time, and you just don't listen. It's like I go to 4, and then you're like, hey, Hypnotic, go to like 30. And I'm like, guys, we can't do that. And then you force me every time to go to 30. We can't do that. Vigilantia, Pizza Cat, 1337 The Leet, Panzer Tank, Hypnose Cat, Shurit, Flip Shazam, B-Cam. We got Romanizer 24. Who else? We got Oinky. That's funny. Sergeant Sapien, Old Man Cad, Adam Juneman. Daniel says, I'm here for J Drunk 3PO. Nice. Master of the TDS. What's up, man? Blue Stylite, Hypnotic and Rapture. We got Adair Soto. We got, let's see, Faye, Okai Fern. Who else? Crimson Jet. Oh my God, bro. This man is in the chat, bro. He's never going to let us live it down. He's never going to let the Waifu Battle be. It's crazy. Crimson Jet says, lurking in the shadows. Hypnotic's evil shield twin. Terrible. Day Royal. What's up, man? How you doing, bro? Alucard. Prophetic Apathetic. Archangelus. Overlord. Toasty with the Mosty. Cookie Kaiju. Anthony Smith. And last but not least, we got Hanny, the Nightmare Doctor, Blue White Scorpio, Shablagu, and Vuis, and Lady Blood. All right, guys, listen. I called out as many people as I possibly could. Sacrifice your fellow Bigot Army member, and let's see who's going to get the massive money shot today, boys. Let's see who's going to get the last one. Who is going to get the final call out? Come on. I need to see some arrows. I need to see some booty hole protected. Let's find out. Let's find out. So we got... What do you mean that was 36? That was 4 more. Listen, I'm sorry you can't count, but that was only 4 more people, and that's it. So I'm sorry. That's not my fault. We got Chaos Dragon saying to go down with no Jaffe, no JDA, no Uno Reverse, which goes to Lucky saying no Jaffe, no Mercante, no Uno Reverse, Tiger Uppercut. But then he goes down after the Tiger Uppercut. It's weird. It's very weird. Which then goes down to Bolsky saying to go down 6. What? No Uno, wearing triple protection. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ah, that's too easy. The guy's damn near begging for it, man. He's begging for it, man. Look at this guy, Hanny. Look at this guy. He's like, give it the money shot to me. It's not even proper English. That's how bad he wants it. What the hell? All right, well, listen, sometimes it happens like that. Sometimes you get somebody who just desperately wants it. That's not Melody Johnson, ironically. So congratulations to Hanny. You are the recipient of the money shot today.
What the?
Congratulations. Congratulations to Hanny. All right, guys, listen, we got a lot we got to talk about. All right, today we only really have one topic in mind, but it's kind of going to mix in a bunch of topics, right? So we have the main thing we're going to do today, which is reacting to the Kim Belair panel over at the GDC. That video has now become live on the GDC's website for everybody to view. And I think it's an interesting video. I think it's something that we need to react to together. I know Will was looking at it a little bit. I didn't get to watch his entire stream because I was obviously prepping for my stream, but I saw some of it that he was reacting to, and he was losing his mind. He was losing his mind. So we're going to react to that, and we also are going to incorporate the conversation of South of Midnight. We're going to talk about that game. I just finished that game. I got some thoughts, obviously, that I want to share. And we're also going to talk about Oblivion because there is some new information regarding the Oblivion remaster because it's a remaster now. It's not a remake. We got some new information regarding the remaster, like the release date and the fact that it's going to be a Game Pass Day 1 game. Yes, they're going to take the Oblivion remaster and they're going to turn it into a Day 1 Game Pass game. So I find that to be very interesting. So we got a lot we got to talk about, ladies and gentlemen. We got a full slate planned for us tonight. And then, of course, on Griffcast tonight, hopefully, if I could do a stream tonight, we're going to be finishing Assassin's Creed Shadows because we got screwed over last night. We couldn't finish it no matter how late we stayed up, so it is what it is. All right. On that note, though, it is now time to do the #1 segment on YouTube. And this is a proven fact, by the way. I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but this is a proven fact. This is the #1 segment on YouTube. This is the #1 segment on Rumble. This is the #1 segment all around the world that makes all the journalists lose their mind. It makes them cry about it. It makes them complain about it to all their friends and family. It also makes some YouTubers angry. This particular segment is known all around the world as the pre-stream legends.
Money, 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 print money, money, cash,
money, well,
capitalism, raise a bunch of money, money, more money, 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 heaps and heaps of money, 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 print money, money, cash,
money, well,
capitalism, raise a bunch of money, money, super chat money.
As salty as the sea, calling us local names. SJW screaming, but it's money they blame. Burning with envy, they're falling flat. They can't handle the sound of a super chat.
All right. It is now time to get into the pre-stream legends, ladies and gentlemen. Starting us off strong with BioTWolf. 19 with a 5 says, I hear it's easy to get ladies not to eat Tide Pods. It's more difficult to deter gents, though. Oh, my God, bro. All right, I'm leaving. Fucking insane, man. Fucking insane. That is insane. How bad that joke is. Shout out to BioTWolf. 19. I need to get a chair. I need to get a chair to put behind me because you know how like Master the TDS and Smash, when they're having like butt buddy time together on their stream and they decide to be gay and do like the whole gay, you know, chair stream thing together. I need to be able to like do that also. So I need to put like a a chair behind me so that when I phase out, I have like a nice gay chair behind. It's gonna make it like a rainbow chair. I think that'll be good. Speaking of, we got we gotta use the Kada clip early. We're gonna use the Kada clip early. Oh man, Uncle Ricky. Which, by the way, bro, this account is ridiculous. This account was ridiculous. Uncle Ricky with a $50.83 Pink Boy Mega Banger. This fucking account. We got to nuke the chat. Let's go. Shout out to Uncle Ricky. Says, so I hear there are issues in the family. My nephew seems to be lacking shoes. I know there have been issues since the divorce, but my little Hypnotic needs to be taken care of. He doesn't need to be living la vida loca. Bro, what is wrong with you guys? Seriously, like the amount of... I don't even want to see your emails, bro. Like the amount of alternate accounts that you guys must have is insane. I have never seen people have this many alternate accounts just to super chat troll. That is wild to me. Shout out to Uncle Ricky. I appreciate you, man. And then we got Scooby Pop with a 10 in all caps because obviously, you know, she's got to make sure it's in all caps. Hey, boss man. Don't know how she got my number, but little Hypnotic's mom says you owe her a bunch of child support. And she was the one who gave the kid your card. Well, that's why we're separated now, because she's fucking insane. Shout out to you, Scooby Pup. We got Taffy for a 2. Cooked. And that's it. Just literally cooked. We got Uncle Ricky again for $10.83. I am swinging by Smash's house later. Good times. Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. Smash would definitely like a visit from Ricky Martin. Privately, of course, you know, behind the scenes, you know, in the bedroom. That makes a lot of sense, man. Makes a lot of sense. Jeffrey, 6 Ultra Hutchins for a 5. Only 2 kinds of men in the world, gooners and liars, and I'm a lying SOB. Shout out to you. Dragon with a 5. South to Midnight went into the Deep South. Little Nicky edition. Facts. Then we got Raging D-Head with a 2. Really? Fuck Robert De Niro. Bro, Raging D-Head has like a hard-on, and not in a good way, for Robert De Niro. This man hates him. Hates him. And then we got the amazing and the wonderful, the Nerdy Mechanic, with a massive 5 membership banger. Shout out to the Nerdy Mechanic. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And then we got Adair Soto spamming his super stickers with an upside down smiling super sticker. Shout out to Adair Soto. And then we got Cookie Kaiju with a 2 saying cozy. It's not cozy. Secret Final Boss for 9 months. Now that I've been a member for 9 months, I can reveal that I just gave birth to another one of Hypnotic's children. He already refuses to go to bed. Well, that's awkward. Mystic Vegeta for a 2. Pick sent to Steam. Yeah, I've decided I'm not going to be opening like too many links anymore on Steam. I would prefer not to open links anymore on Steam, because there have been people that have been trying to add me on Steam to try to get me to click shit that obviously will lead to bad things. So if you want me to see anything picture-wise, try to tag me on Twitter. I would prefer if you did that. That way I could just react to it and not click anything, if that makes sense. But I appreciate you, brother. Then we got Master of the TDS with a $4.99. You say SBI CEO speaks out, but you don't know what the panel actually is. Have fun when you find out. No, I have an idea what the panel actually is. I just said Kimball Air speaks out because it was good for the title. That's it. Then we got Dragon Master with a 10. Billions and billions of dollars that SBI has through governments while their clients go bankrupt. Sounds about right. Thank you so much for the 10, bro. I appreciate you. Then we got Adair Soto with a 10. I am sad about Garagura graduation, but she would never be forgotten. But now I'm watching your stream. Hypnotic brings my day back again positive. Let's have a cozy street today, everyone. I think you meant to say stream. But that auto-translate be dangerous, bro. Shout out to you, Adair Soto. Thank you so much for that $10 banger. I appreciate you. And then we got St. Hugo with a 5. Been looking for the G-spot. Why did I even bother starting to read that seriously, even for a second, is beyond me. But anyway, St. Hugo says, been looking for the G-spot of my girlfriend for years. Finally found it It was hidden in her sister.
Holy shit.
That's insanity. Peaches and cream with a 5. Just spamming the emojis. Literally peaches and cream. Shout out to you. And then we got Flip Shazam with a 2. Smash is pissy because you cut out his pool scene. No, I didn't. It's in there. Barely, but it's in there. The important parts are in there. The copyrighted parts got cut out. He'll be all right. He'll be fine. Once he gets some donations, he'll be fine. Just in time for a 5. The chairs are a grift. Chairs don't love you. They just think, here comes that asshole again. That's true. That's actually pretty true. Anime Mania 500 gives 1 Hypnotic membership. Thank you, Anime Mania 500. I appreciate you. Guys, like the stream. Let's go. Sergeant Sapient with a 149 super sticker. And it's literally just a peach. Little Hypnotic with a 5. Hey, Dad, remember I got your card, number, and bought shoes? Tell Uncle Ricky I'm good. Uncle Ricky, we're going to have to talk to Uncle Ricky. Secret Final Boss, he's the millionaire. He should be buying shoes. Secret Final Boss with a 5. Hey, Grums announced getting married to Mercanti a year ago on April 1st. Compared to that bit of trolling, mine was tame. Yeah, that's true. You got that. Black Jesus with a 5. I've been watching Uncle Ricky for a while. He definitely needs to repent. The rest of you goon on. Yeah, I'm sure he's been doing some interesting things. Mystic Vegeta with a 2. I don't have Twitter. It's kind of related. Yeah, I understand, but like I said, I'm not going to be clicking links anymore. Nothing personal. It's just again, I don't trust people on Steam, and I'm not saying you would do anything. I'm just whenever I make a blanket decision like that, I just stick to it. Adair Soto with a $10 banger and a super sticker, and all it says is good luck. Shout out to you. This man loves his super stickers, bro. Holy shit. There's a lot of them. Taffy with a 5. There have been announcements of some latest mods having viruses. Yes, I know. We covered that with the Schedule 1 nonsense. I remember that. So that's why I'm very, very cautious. Because there's a lot of people out there that are trying to do everything they possibly can to try to harm this channel and in general, like all my channels. So I'm just looking out for the channel. And then we got Psycho with a 4.99. What's the difference with Kata and Napoleon? Napoleon will always stand tall throughout history. Ooh, that's bad. Kata's not going to like that one. You're lucky he's in Vegas sucking on some toes right now. Otherwise, he'd be highly upset. He'd be in here watching right now. But we know, like, he's not here. Let's be real. Okay, let's check Rumble really quick. Let's check Rumble. Let's see what Rumble has. Anything on Rumble? No, but we did get raided. We did get raided by Goon Gaming. Again. Shout out to Goon Gaming for the fucking raid. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. You are a legend. You are a legend amongst men. Thank you for that. All right. We are fully caught up. Shout out to all you guys. Thank you so much for the insane pre-stream legend support. We are going to get into the content, and we are going to obviously start with the reaction because that is going to be the majority of the content. Let's be real. So if you guys are unaware, Kim Belair is part, and you must be aware because I've said this in many videos prior, but Kim Belair was at the GDC of 2025. And the GDC is the Game Developers Conference. And she had a panel essentially talking about what it's like to be black in video games or gaming in general. It was the most interesting idea for a panel that they could possibly think of because they can't think 5 seconds past their own race because that's how they make their money. So I figure let's go together and let's react to this particular video and this particular panel. Now, a lot of people have been making fun of this, and rightfully so because of obvious reasons. Let me make sure this is working. Hold on, is this working? Yes. All right, so people have been making fun of this panel because honestly, it's a fucking joke. It's a joke like most of the panels that Kim Belair tends to be on. Yeah, that's always and their only topics. Yeah, I know. It's always about their race, like race, which, by the way, for a panel that's dedicated to black people, they literally have only half of the slide being black. The other half is not even black. Who are these people black? You got Blasian persuasion going on here? Like, what is this? Anyway, so we are going to react to this and see what this is about and to get a general understanding of what it's like to be in the mind of a racial grifter. Might as well check it out. Here we go. But before we do, let's just double check Rumble, make sure we didn't miss anything. We did not miss anything. Okay. Shout out to Toasty. She is in the Rumble stream. All right, let's go, boys.
All right, Jesus. I'm here representing the mixed delegation. No, I'm kidding. I am a narrative designer, programmer. I run my own studio called Coquito Games. I've shipped Star Wars.
Wait, this is the guy who does Coquito Games? This guy does Coquito Games, the Puerto Rican guy. Why is the Puerto Rican guy in a panel of black, like, it's supposed to be about black people? How did we get here? Why are we here?
Wars Jedi Survivor, worked on Saros at Housemarque, Marvel, Strike Force, Madden 20. I've done a lot. I'm tired. But I'm here for you.
What?
Sorry, got a little issue with the...
What a great way to start the panel. Yeah, I'm here, but I'm tired. Yeah, I'm tired, but I'm here. I'm here. Nice.
Go ahead, talk. Go ahead, Pamela. Go ahead. Mm-hmm. Pamela, go ahead.
Did he just stutter? Like, he's like, yeah.
Talk about your bio.
Okay. Pamela here,
What the fuck?
senior product manager at PlayStation. I've worked on Apex Legends, The Sims, Call of Duty, some Korean MMORPGs. I can't even remember anymore. But a lot of games. I'm also tired because why Friday AM at 10 a.m.? I don't know. And I'm here.
Jesus Christ, bro. The people who are like, I'm tired. Shut up.
And I'll be authentic as I can be without being sued.
Kim, go ahead.
Hello, I'm Kim Belair. I'm also surprised that this panel is at 10:30 on Friday. I'm the CEO of Sweet Baby Inc., which, contrary to popular belief, is not a DEI company, but a narrative development company. We do, thank you, we do a ton of writing, narrative design, narrative consultation on a ton of different projects, including Spider-Man 2, Alan Wake 2, the recent Afterlove EP, God of War 2, probably some other seasons.
So she says that it's not a DEI company, but she's on a panel that's specifically talking about what it's like to be black in the gaming industry, which is a talking point that is surrounded by diversity, equity, and inclusion talking points, which is DEI. But no, she doesn't run a DEI company. No, not at all. Even though every panel she talks on is literally about DEI. Interesting.
Things that end in 2. And we continue to have we've worked on about 100 games so far and continue to do so based in Montreal and around the world.
All right, and Jabari.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here on this early Friday. I'm Jabari Ali. I am the Oakland site director for the Hidden Genius Project, where we train and mentor young black boys in technology and leadership. I'm also the founder of Plus Arcade, where we develop video games and also curate social experiences for gamers.
All right, for some reason my laptop reversed it, so I'm just trying to figure out why I did that. But let's go. I'm Carl Bernardo. I write a narrative director for conservative companies.
Why does this guy talk like that, bro? This guy's mumbling so goddamn much. What the fuck? I can't understand half of what he's saying. What was his name? Carl Bernardo? Okay. All right, here we go.
I worked on Dragon Age Veilguard, and I worked on Need for Speed Unbound. And
oh, no wonder he worked on Dragon Age and Veilguard, so he's traumatized. That's what it is. He's traumatized. Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, we understand now. We understand.
And Wildflowers, which won Game of the Year, and Street Fighter 6. So we'll get started. Hold on, I've got to fix my slides. Hold on, I don't know why my slides went nasty, because I have to show this disclaimer that's very important to this panel. So, 1 second.
Until then, briefly enjoy the serenity of the woods.
Yes, I just don't know why it reversed. Can I get a tech assistant up really quickly? Thank you. Okay.
Perfect. Why does he say that? Why does he do that? Do you guys hear that? He does a... What is that? What is that? Isn't that like a certain disease or something? He's talking, he's like, can I get a tech assistant up here? What the fuck is that? What? Help me understand. Is that trauma? Is that trauma? That's his nerves? I don't know, bro. Well, good job proving you're a DEI hire because you can't even get your fucking slides up and everything. You need a tech assistant. You need a tech assistant to handle your own slideshow. Goes to show. Goes to show.
All right. Really important. The views, opinions, and side eyes expressed by the panelists in this session are entirely their own and do not reflect those of other employees, former employees, hopeful future employees.
Wait. There is a disclaimer on this. What do you need a disclaimer for on this? What do you need a disclaimer? I don't understand.
That one company that ghosted them after the third interview. Any similarities to real companies, managers, Slack threads, or team leads who say things like, "We're like family here," are purely coincidental and or painfully accurate. Panelists are hereby absolved of all responsibility should their comments be used in HR documentation, screen grab for Slack DMs, or whispered about in studio kitchens. Additionally, the organizer of this panel would like to clarify that any references, real, implied, imagined, speculative, or sarcastic to the current political administration's stance on DEI belong firmly on the realm of parody, critique, satire, and deeply cultural concerns. We are not responsible for any federal rollbacks, awkward memos, or sudden disappearance of DEI tabs on company websites.
What?
Please direct all complaints to... Oh, I'm sorry, we can't find that link.
Bro, he did it again. He did it again. He did it again. He's like, oh, we can't find that link. What? What is that, bro? What is that? Wait, go back. Go back really quick. Play that again.
Concerns. We are not responsible for any federal rollbacks, awkward memos, or sudden disappearance of DEI tabs on company websites. Please direct all complaints to... Oh, I'm sorry, we can't find that link.
Oh my god. He's like what are you, dude? Look at the guy on the left. Look at the guy on the left. He's like, I can't with you, bro. What the fuck is wrong with you? He's like, you make me sick. Bro, these are your leaders in Black excellence, right? These are your leaders. These are the people who are like, yeah, we totally belong where we are. We're not DEI hires. No, not at all. We can't even run a freaking panel right now. Our slideshow doesn't even work. But trust us, we totally know how to make video games. Yeah, we'll be fine.
So this is the way this works. I give my panelists scenarios happen at companies, and they answer their questions honestly. None of my panelists have ever seen the scenarios before they come up, and I'll give my first scenario now.
All right, let's go.
And I open up to anybody on the panel. Scenario 1, your company just announced major layoffs, and you notice that a large percentage of those let go are Black and other marginalized employees. HR assures
bro, can you read? Are you nervous? Are you nervous, bro? Like, come on, you can't even read.
That decisions were purely financial. How do you raise concerns without putting yourself at risk?
It's that last part that gets me, though.
Yeah.
You can't.
You can't. What do you mean?
You cannot raise concerns without putting yourself at risk. HR is not there to benefit you. They're there to protect the C-suite.
So what should you do then in that situation?
I guess it really depends on your priorities, you know. How much money do you have saved to make sure you got rent paid?
I'm still trying to understand why they had a disclaimer that is somehow what's the disclaimer going to do? It's gonna make people not react to this video? Is it gonna make people not like, I don't understand. Is it supposed to protect them from their companies that are going to hold them accountable? I mean, one of them is the CEO of her own company, so what's she going to do, fire herself? No. It's the weirdest disclaimer.
You know what I'm saying? If you got a nice savings, then, you know, yeah, you should speak up, right? We really need to have each other's back. If you ain't got none of your savings, you might need to hold it in for the moment and, you know, be a little better on on saving that up. But no, in all seriousness, it's a very tricky thing, but really want everybody to know that like HR is actually not there for you. I'm sure plenty of us have learned that the hard way. Really, the best thing you can do with HR is make sure that things are documented, that there's a paper trail, a written record of things happening, but they're going to look at the company's interests first.
Gotcha.
I want to bounce off that too. You know who is there? For
I'm
you?
sure you want
Your
to.
friend.
I'm sure you want to bounce off that. I'm sure. You know what's kind of sad? So what's sad is that if you look at this front row here, there looks to be a lot of young black people here, right? Maybe not a ton, but I mean, there's a few. It's hard to tell, but there's a lot of young black people here, and these young black people are genuinely going to listen to these fucking retards. And this guy over here on the left is essentially telling the young black people over here in the front that it doesn't matter what they say or do, that HR is going to inherently not even care or be on their side or anything like that. So you're already setting them up to have a certain mindset and to view things immediately negative without even realizing whether or not that's true, based on your own personal experiences. You know, it's kind of sad, man, because these guys, you know, they clearly want to learn. They want to learn and they want to do things within the gaming industry, but then they have to look up to these retards, man. This guy can't even talk. This fucking guy in the middle can't even talk. He's too busy going, like, it's ridiculous. Kim Belair, we already know where Kim Belair is. And then this guy on the left just seems wholly uninterested. I don't understand why we got these two people on the right that aren't even black involved in a conversation about black people. I don't understand why that's even a thing.
And you know, if you just happen to have friends that work in journalism, I'm not saying, you know, you need to tell them your name, but if they have an anonymous tip under their door, you know, just also make friends with lawyers.
Got you. You know what? Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think.
Wow, that happened to be advice that pretty much a certain journalist has taken advantage of. Interesting. Make friends with lawyers. Well, don't worry, because the people you claim to hate have also made friends with lawyers. It's not just you. So don't worry about that. Yeah, these people are crazy. They're insane. Make friends with lawyers and apparently tell certain journalists. What did he say? Tell certain journalists their name so that. Why? So they could run. So you're admitting that journalists run defense for developers. Is that what we're admitting now? Because last I was told that's not true. Last I was told that's not a thing. So now we're admitting that you run damage control for journalists. Oh, I'm sorry, journalists run damage control for you guys. That's interesting.
I think that the question of, like, how do you not do it? If you are a black employee and all the black folks are getting laid off, you are already at risk.
Right.
You know, so at this point, I think it really is that, like, that strategy. It's do you go to HR or do you just hide out for a bit? But yeah, going to HR, I think is. I mean, it's to get it on the record. Like, I don't know what the relationship between the me and HR would have to be for me to go.
I'm driving people crazy with the laugh. They're like, stop doing it. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Like, I think I'm going to bring this up instead of just going like, I'm packing my bags and then I'm going to say, hey, I noticed something crazy about the layoffs.
I agree. I think. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with some of the points. But
Oh, did a non-black person just interrupt the voice of a black person that was speaking on a panel that's about black excellence? What?
all of the points. Like I do agree that HR is not your friend. It's usually like if you complain to HR more times than not, you're the one who's going to be in trouble. But the resources and allies that you can find within the company are the ERGs. Because the ERGs usually have some kind of executive that's navigated the situation before and he'll walk you through maybe what's happening. So, like, for example, a lot of times these layoffs happen because of strategic changes. And if you notice, like, if you're a, water polo company, and most of the customer service people are let go, and the people like the fabric designers aren't.
That is such a massive bullshit, by the way. You see how they try to spin it, right? You see how they try to spin it? So she said most of the layoffs happen because of strategic changes. Really? Are we coping like that? Are we in denial? What are those changes exactly? Oh, could those changes be that you fucked around and find out that you haven't made the money that you need to make and you have to change by downsizing? But they use certain words that make it sound better, right? They use certain words that make the whole situation sound better. This is why she's the kind of person that will put out the letter whenever there's layoffs and talk about how amazing the developers are that got fired. She's the kind of person that would do something like that. This is why they do that.
Not like that was a strategic initiative. So the question I would then start asking within the company is, how do we get more people of color in like the core parts of the business so they're not in these vulnerable positions to be laid off? And it's more about like the layoffs happened. You can't do anything about that, but it's more about preventing them for the future. So like I think the consulting industry has great examples of this, where they start having apprentices, work as consultants and move their way up, so they actually increase their diversity numbers like substantially and sustain it, as opposed to just kind of trying to like plug in people of color in any remedial job that they can find just to look good, as opposed to having meaningful learning and impact.
Whoa. Hold on. So do we have an admission of DEI hiring? She just said that what they're doing right now is plugging in people of color in any remedial position that they have available. Do you guys see that? Is that an admission of DEI hiring? Wow. This is interesting. I know this panel has crazy people, but this is actually very interesting information. I think it's pertinent for people's knowledge.
Gotcha. If it was me, I think what I would do is I would meet with my friends preeminently, and I would say, okay, tell me all your wins last year, and tell me all the problems you solved for your boss. So everybody have a list of what every problem everybody else like does, because people are fairly selfish, and like there can be like high level like firings. There's also like making my life easier as the boss, right? So like if you can go to people that are above you and say, well, they're going to fire him, but man, he's the one that always fixes that thing. And they're like, yeah, I don't want to deal with that. So like you make it a selfish kind of motive for the boss to keep that person around, because there's a selfish initiative for them not to get rid of them, because it makes their life harder. And I found out that the people that are in charge always work out of their own interest of like how their life is easier by these people that work for me versus making their life harder.
As a final aside to that, if you're a coder, this is very easy. You can just take screenshots of your Perforce submits and keep a log of that. So when people like come to you and are doing those evaluations where they decide if you're going to keep your job or not, you can just point to that and send them a list of everything you've done for the company.
Right. All right, next one.
So from what I'm getting from this is that the layoffs and the firings are so dramatic over the last year or two that this entire panel, in the beginning anyway, seems to be dedicated to what to do under that situation if you are a black person getting fired, which is just, I don't know, it's just weird.
Your ERG is given zero funding this year, but you're still expected to run Black History Month programming. Leadership says, we trust you'll find creative ways. How do you push back? Be inventive with no budget. Who wants to go first?
That's as close as you can get to asking me to do a little dance, unfortunately. Because I think if you're like, get creative, you'll figure it out. Like, you're kind of asking me and my human body to maybe like do a thing. And I think at that point, I'm going to anticipate that the folks who gave me zero funding aren't going to remember I agreed to this.
Gotcha.
And I'm probably going to let it slide. And then I'm going to figure out something with my friends that we can do. And at best, I could always push for like, if we have no budget, maybe we could just take a day off. maybe everybody.
Okay, all right.
Team.
Day off for Black History Month.
Don't think they're going to let it happen. Don't get me wrong. I don't think it's going to let it happen. I'm just probably going to not do it.
All right. What else?
I'm petty, right? So like,
Shocker. He said I'm petty, and this guy was like, I can't with this fucking panel, man. This panel is just, oh my god, dude.
I'm gonna have a cookout, and I'm gonna have it sponsored, and I'm gonna have my name on it and not the company's name on it. It's gonna be the Girardi Cookout, not X company.
Girardi Cookout, Black History Month Cookout.
Yeah, because they ain't pay for it.
Across the street or like
It's
on campus.
it'll be the
That
collaboration.
is petty. That's real petty.
Yeah. But like real talk. If they're not supporting your initiatives, that means they don't actually care about the things you stand for and represent.
Why should they? Why should they? That's what I'm trying to understand. Why should the company care about your social cause? Why? What's the point? Since, like, I never in my life worked for a company and thought to myself, gee, I really hope this company supports my social cause. I really hope this company supports whatever. Maybe because I wasn't an activist, or maybe I didn't think the whole fucking world revolved around me. But, like, you're there to do a job. You're not there to be an activist. So what does it matter whether or not the company actually supports your social cause or not? It matters none. It matters literally zero.
And at that point, it's actually a much more difficult conversation because I don't want to stay somewhere where I'm not appreciated. And I have been.
You being appreciated should not be relevant to whether or not the company can do activism on your behalf. The company can appreciate you and also not want to, support your social cause. Your social cause is for you and you alone. It's not for anybody to be forced to support. And if you think the entire fucking world revolves around you, then that's a problem in and of itself, and you're letting your narcissism shine through.
In this scenario, actually.
Really?
Pretty close to it, yeah. And I still did my job, but I didn't do more than they were paying me to do. Let's put it that way.
Gotcha. Okay. Anybody else? Okay.
Well, I just kind of like, this is just not new for me because it's like I've been volunteering for these type of initiatives before funding wasn't even a thing. So it's just getting back to the heart of what an ERG is. It's about community. It's about building community, and I don't need a budget for that.
Gotcha.
And if like
we select money though for it. If you, they're not saying don't give budgets. You're just saying that you can do it without a budget, but still give money.
Even if they remove my budget, I can build community for free. I mean,
Gotcha.
Discord is free. Like doing a little conference room meetup is free. Just randomly pranking my coworkers is free. Like Black History Month prank, that's free.
There are some odd Black History Month choices for you guys.
What was that? What was that? He said there were some odd choices for Black History Month. You're like, what is that? I need to know what that is. That has to have like a classification. He was all in on that one. He was just like, I can't explain it. I need to know. I need to know what it's called. Give me the Tourette's. There ain't no Tourette's. The fuck, man?
I'm just saying, as an observer, like pranks, days off, cookouts, like y'all do anything educational?
Look, we've got no budget.
We got no budget.
I don't know about you, but a cookout can be very educational. You know how much gossip?
Wait, he's capable of a regular laugh. Hold on, that's shocking. He's capable of a regular laugh, so why is he going? The hell? Does he have a neck? No, that's why he sounds like he can't breathe.
I learned.
I did not know how much gossip you learned. I'd like to hear that after the show.
We got tea. That's the whole point of the cookout.
All right. Next one. Why are you not working? Okay. A new game proposal is rejected because Black characters don't sell. How do you challenge this?
All right. So when I told the story at the other panel too.
So you know what's amazing? That scenario, Black characters don't sell. This is something that we talk about all the time, where the industry views Black original characters as something that's not worth it, which is why they focus so much on race swaps. And they never want to admit it publicly as a thing. And yet here you are, you have the GDC, and They're using that as a scenario, which proves that this has to be a conversation that pops up somewhere, somehow, sometime during some studios. It has to. It has to. And this is why race swapping is such a thing all the time. This is why sex swapping is such a thing all the time. It's because they don't see legitimacy in original black characters. They only see legitimacy on characters that were established prior, and most of them happen to be white. Most of them happen to be white. And then here's the amazing thing, right? When they get their hands, when these same people get their hands on characters that were originally black, and they then have to remake them for modern day versions of themselves, they can't even figure out what to do with it. Because the entire time their creativity dwindles down to essentially, oh, let's make something that's white black. So when it's already black, they don't know what to do. You know how I know this is true? Because imagine struggling writing a script for Blade. Imagine struggling writing a fucking movie script for Blade. How can it be hard to write a movie for Blade? Blade is such a simple concept. All people want to do is see Blade kill some vet. Like, I just don't understand. And it's because what they were trying to do with the Blade movie was they were trying to figure out how they can make it for the modern audience, but they didn't have their go-to easy win, which was, oh, let's race swap. They didn't have that. The character was already black, so they're trying to sit there and figure out, gee, what can we do? Oh, I know, let's make it about his daughter. But then it didn't work because they can't create a story around it. So they end up struggling, and before you know it, the movie gets fucking canceled. It's honestly really sad. So, again, the fact that they bring this up as a question on this panel tells me that the industry actually talks about this often enough for them to actually bring it up. Which, again, they'll deny it when we ask. Because, you know, we're just the grifters. We just don't want to see black people in gaming, or we don't want to see black people, whatever. That's how they view it. So they don't want to admit to us that this is something they talk about all the time.
I'm going to tell it again because it keeps coming up.
It is.
When I was in my
Look,
grad
he just
program,
he just said it. He just said it. It keeps coming up. It keeps coming up. The guy on the right just admitted that this scenario keeps coming up. Interesting how they will admit it amongst each other, but they'll never admit it publicly.
a professor, I told my professor I want to make a hip hop game, and my professor looked me dead in the eye. This old 50-year-old old white man was like, "There's no market for that." Now I run my own company. I'm making that game, so like, we gonna find out because it's gonna happen.
Oh, we gonna find out. All right, what's the name of your game? I can't wait to check the Steam numbers. Oh, that's right. The Steam numbers don't matter. I'm sorry. Did this guy just like get fucked by so many black guys so much that he just wants to pretend to be black? Is that why he's on this panel? Because he's trying to talk as if he's black. He's like, we gonna find out. We gonna find out when I'm in my cookout. Bro, you're Puerto Rican. You run a fucking company called Coquito Games. Why are you trying to act like you're the fucking advocate for BLM over here? What are we doing? Relax. Relax. This man took BBC one night, and now he's making it his entire personality. He's like, Fucking idiot, bro.
If someone says there's no market for that, you get the numbers. Yeah. You do the research. You do.
This man thinks he's Pablo X over here. The fucking Puerto Rican Malcolm X. This is ridiculous.
Do the work to be like, here's the market. And I had to do this when pitching it to a publisher, right? Like, here's a untapped market. Here's how many people are in that market. Here's how many are likely to convert. And here's the numbers we're going to sell.
And then the numbers end up being nowhere near what you thought you were going to sell.
They can't argue that.
Yeah.
Oh, they sure can, because there's a history of video games that had the same ideology as you, and they're all dead and gone.
I was gonna say, like, as you may imagine, I've done a lot of looking into this kind of thing because it's something that gets shouted constantly at everyone.
So here's what I noticed really quick. First off, look at her face, bro. This girl doesn't want to be there. She heard everything this moron had to say, and she's like, So we definitely gonna find out. And number two, the amazing thing is that I could tell just based off the way that this man answers on the right side and his overall attitude that he really thinks, and I'm not even kidding, when he walks into a room, he thinks he is the smartest person in that room, bar none. He thinks that he is the most intelligent creature in that room, bar none. That is how he acts. He thinks he knows everything. He comes off as if he knows everything. That is the kind of person that he is. That's why the Asian girl's like, all right, shut the fuck up, Marco. All right, go drink some coquito. Fucking idiot.
And I feel like it's simply the numbers don't bear it out. It's simply not the case. The amount of kind of like weasel words being used to kind of suggest like, oh, this game didn't sell and we can find some diverse protagonists in it versus this game really did sell, but it was despite all those other characters, right? There was no win in that kind of rhetoric. So I think that that ultimately you are probably, as Rory says, like you're dealing with somebody who's not looking at the numbers and is coming from a biased place. They probably weren't going to take your game anyway, right? If they're coming to you with black characters don't sell, their research is deeply biased.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, and
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Bro, that's the second time this happened between these two. You want to know why? I just realized why. Because he doesn't even bother asking her if she has an opinion. He just hears them, and he's just like, okay, we're going to continue. And then she jumps in. She's like, wait, I got to say something. He's like, oh, okay, go ahead. Oh, okay. Go ahead. So I just realized that. He be skipping over her, bro. Interesting.
Well, I'm a firm believer that there are just universal themes in all of storytelling and entertainment that it doesn't matter where you're coming from, you can still relate to. Like I grew up playing Uncharted and all of these like beautiful, robust storytelling narratives from perspectives that
Oh, she did the cardinal sin. She brought up a story that features a white male character lead. You're bad. Don't do that.
I don't even like I couldn't even imagine relating to, but it didn't matter. Like I could
exactly. It doesn't matter.
It's all about just making sure it's a human connection. So
Correct.
I think selling the humanity of it and
look how fucking sad Kim is right now because she's ruining Kim's narrative. She's literally right now ruining Kim's narrative and she doesn't even realize it. Because Asian lady over here literally is saying what the grifters are saying all the time. Kung Pao Chicken over here is ruining it for Kim Belair. She's getting felted. Bro, it doesn't matter. Exactly. It never matters. It don't matter the race of the character. All that matters is the ability for you to be able to connect with the character, and you don't need to see your skin color in order to connect with it. This is what she's saying, and Kim is like, shut the fuck up. You're fucking it all up. You're fucking it up. This is why I told them don't invite your white adjacent ass onto the fucking panel. But we didn't have enough black people because there ain't enough of us, so we needed to add you. And then this, look at his face. Look at his face. Look at his face. Look at his face. He's like, she could. I better get that cookout ready, bruh. It's crazy. I'm going to have to work overtime on Tyrone's dick to make up for this one. I'm going to have to go muff diving on Kim Belair because God knows ain't nobody else touching that right now. That's insane, bro. You are ruining their narrative. What are you doing, bro? Who invited this woman onto the panel? You ruined all of their narratives. Look at him. This guy's like, oh, shit. I'm never going to hear the end of this. Kim Belair is going to invite me out for drinks later. Not only am I not going to smash, but then I'm going to have to listen to her bitch and complain about how the white slant-eyed Asian over here is fucking up the entire narrative for us. You know, how Ryan Rogers says it, blacks. It's unfortunate, man. It really is.
selling like the story and the hook and being able to like attach yourself
Exactly.
to a character regardless.
Sell the story, yep.
Is really important. So
Oh, yeah, it's
I mean,
important.
that's my challenge there because it's just like you're telling me humanity doesn't sell. You're telling me like emotions. You're telling me like whatever the character is going through is not going to sell. And you.
Actually, yes, the person who is saying that that stuff doesn't sell is the person sitting right across from you, lady. I don't know if you realize that, but look at this creature over here on the left. That's the creature that says exactly what you just said. That it's not about the humanity. It's about the fact that you have to see yourself. It's about the fact that the skin color is important and the representation and all that stuff. You just know Kim Belair's about to say something. You could tell how mad she is. Look, she's got that little hand motion she's doing right there. This guy, I don't know what he's doing. He's frozen. He is frozen. This guy is frozen in time. He's like, I cannot believe you are saying what the Chuds say every single day. What are you doing right now? This is not what you're supposed to be doing. You are a plant. You are a plant for the Chuds. You promised you would say the right thing. Bro, this is going to get ugly. Look, he put his hands up. He's like, oh, shit. That's it. I already know Kim Belair's about to say something. You know what Kim Belair's about to hit her with? She's about to hit her with the actually. Actually.
Usually when you get to like the themes like love or World War II or something, or the Roman Empire, then people start talking to like the meat and potatoes of what the story is, and that sells.
It is odd though. Like, look at the things. Look, what are things in Among Us?
Kim,
what are those things? Like,
Kim wants to say something so bad. She wants this. They want to fight so bad. Look, she knows what she did. She's like, that one's for you, Chuds. I'm done, bro. I'm so done. This is great. Kim is just holding it in. I love this. Got so much better. This panel got so much better. It started off really slow, but this is really good now. I'm liking this.
Are they are they people? Are they robots? Are they
supposed to be astronauts?
Well, I know. I'm saying, but you're supposed to like relate to that, which looks nothing like you've ever seen before. But a black character is a bridge too far.
Well,
you know.
I think that's what's so hard sometimes, because I think I also tend to go for, or I think a lot of folks kind of go for that universality argument, because it is true, right? It is fundamentally true that like the human problems that we face are multifarious, varied, and we are united in a lot of them. But I would say that when I think about like an Uncharted, of course I've played a ton of these games and I relate to all of these characters, but I think the tough part when someone says black characters don't sell is that they're often coming from a place of not believing in that shared humanity as an idea, right? They see the universality in a story like Uncharted 2 or any of those games, but then they go like, well, who's this character though? This character, can I relate to that? Right. And so I think it's I fundamentally agree that, yeah, humanity and universality can sell it, but I always so often encounter the reality that the perception of marginalized humanity is not quite the same as everybody else's.
That is not the same. That you know, oh my God, bro. Could you even potentially think to yourself for even a moment that perhaps the reason why a lot of non-white characters get rejected these days is because most of them are actually from originally white characters, and that innately makes people highly upset when they view the character? Like, if you are trying to have the character viewed as something serious and as something that could stand on its own, why would you begin its origins under something that is so divisive? Why would you begin its origins over something that clearly is not black in origin? But then you decided to make it black, and then you're like, hey, we did something special, praise us, right? Why do you think all these original black characters from back in the day were so loved? Why do you think Blade is loved so much? You think Blade is loved because he's black? No, there isn't a single fucking person that cares about Blade being black. Blade as a character was able to connect with so many people because it was a good character. Same thing with fucking Barrett from Final Fantasy VII. Same thing with Saz from Final Fantasy 13. Saz was a hilarious character from Final Fantasy 13. So it's like, what are we seriously doing here? What are we like? You guys simply don't have the ability to write the characters anymore. Right? Even Prototype had the I was going to say the prototypical, that would have been too on the nose. Prototype 2 was a prime example of, it wasn't a race swap because it was a new character, but it was a prime example of taking a game that was led by a white man and then putting a black man in it and nobody having a problem with it. Nobody having a fucking problem with it. Nobody had a problem with it. Right? Because the gameplay was the same. The overall sentiment was the same, and the character was actually well written, and it was a good story for the most part. Although, to be fair, Prototype was not really a game you play for the story, you play for the action, but still, it was a really good game. So there was no point. Like, nobody cared, nobody complained. But the reason why people complain now is because these black characters that you are writing are insufferable. They are all insufferable, unbelievably insufferable. You make these black characters, literally their entire identity is them being black, and that is almost all of it. They are insufferable. They're characters that you cannot connect to, and you can't say they can't be connected to because of their skin color, because that's not it. They can't be connected to because they're insufferable fucking people that nobody in real life would ever want to actually have a conversation with. Nobody would ever actually want to follow their story because they're miserable. They run around thinking the white man's going after them all the time. It's a shame. It really is. You guys are just incapable of making a multifaceted character that happens to be black. You want to make a black character first, and then you figure out the rest after. And that's never going to work.
I agree with that. Okay, next one. Your supervisor begins to suggest that there is a new market that needs games look like them.
You didn't
but they
change the
reflect.
slide, Carl.
Oh, it didn't go? Oh, wow, that's weird. It's on my side.
Oh, there it is.
Okay, let's do it again. The supervisor begins to suggest that there is a new market that needs games to look like them, but they reflect individuals with a history of racist or vile behavior.
Hell no.
Bro, this man literally cannot operate a PowerPoint presentation. He can't even operate a presentation. You mean to tell me I'm supposed to think he's amazing at his job? That he wasn't just hired as a checkbox, you know what I'm saying? They clearly don't want to answer this question, but let's see what they say.
Well, I think that, this is like a critical point, right? And I just call for all of us. I think that we know, like, especially just given the climate that we're in now, the climate that we've been in for these last few years, like, I'm really just going to even take it there. We have a responsibility working in games. We need to understand how influential these games are, just how influential media is. Everything from TV shows to movies to comic books. But games are even more influential because they're putting someone in that pilot seat. They're taking control. They're taking actions. They are committing to these things, right? And
I agree with that, GDR.
We need to be very careful about the images and the ideas that we allow to go out into the world. So I would deeply ask anybody in this situation to, hell no. Like, you got to shut it down. You got to find a way to shut it down, because as we allow these things to go out there, that starts to go into people's brains. You got a 12-year-old, 13-year-old, 9-year-old, whatever, experiencing these things, and we wonder how a lot of these ideas continue to perpetuate. Is because we allow them into these medias, and we allow them into, and I'm not even going to call no names, on certain games, but we already got some of them out there as well. So we got to be hella mindful with these things. So we have to shut that down.
Jabari, I'm gonna have to take a different approach to this than you. So for those of y'all unfamiliar with Latin America, colorism is a real problem, right?
Oh God, here we go.
And so when I see this question, the first thought that came to mind were like,
here we go.
The Noiso Negro Dominican kind of folk, right? Who are like a marginalized community in their own right, but also racist. And those are the kind of people who I'm trying to give the benefit of the doubt to this question. So
you're not. It's not designed that way. It's not designed to give it that at all.
Let me finish that.
Go ahead.
But like, there are groups of people who I recognize as like, y'all just don't know better. And there's groups of people who is like, y'all do know better. And there is a thread here of that can be woven into a narrative, probably from a villain's point of view. But I think when they see themselves and the consequences of their actions, there's a powerful point for change as well in games. The first thing that came to mind when I saw this question was Undertale's genocide route, and how awful that feels, how empty that route feels. There's no music in that route. It's just silence, and it feels odd and creepy and eerie, and you feel bad playing it, and that's the point. So if I were to look at this, get this challenge, I would make this game, but I would make it so that you feel like the scum of the earth for making these choices, and then you understand why it's not the position you want to take.
Look at you going the high route.
So, I mean, he didn't even finish his sentiment on colorism in Latin America. All he did was say that Dominicans are darker skinned, but that they're also racist. Which, again, by the way, the Hispanics are most racist against each other. So, I don't understand where you're really going with that. Like, what? That was like a whole lot of nothing. That was a whole lot of fucking nothing that he said. Like, I don't get it. Like, Dominicans, anyway, you know what? It's not even worth it. Whatever.
This assignment would get me fired. I will tell you. But so for me, like when I heard this, I was thinking about like I think it was in the '60s. There was the rise of the KKK actually, and one of the artists or animators at the time.
Yeah. Who was the political party that was behind it again? Yeah. Yeah.
Got a hold of a very secretive KKK manual, and then made a cartoon out of it where Superman is taking down the KKK.
Right.
And like, so all these like members of the KKK are like hearing their children, with their Superman toys, just beating up, the High Wizard of whatever they call themselves, and it's just kind of like, in hearing it within the kid context.
So I want you guys to understand something. This went from video games to racism to the KKK. Like, these people are talking about literally almost anything other than video games at this point. We are almost halfway through this conversation, and they're talking about almost anything else other than that.
Really kind of made them feel ashamed in certain ways. So I think I would take the assignment.
Yeah, and then make them feel bad.
But it wouldn't probably not be I would not produce what they expected. It would be something different. But I think that's the beauty of our industry and games. It's an art form, and I am like biased, but one of the highest art forms where you can like actually live the life, another life through someone's eyes and make choices as someone. So in that, I would use the art form either to make fun, the high route, or make fun of the people.
Make punching Nazis cool again.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Go for it.
Jesus Christ, these people are retarded, man. Make punching Nazis cool again. Like, again, you guys are talking about the KKK. You realize who the fucking KKK was? Who they pretty much still are? You guys realize that you are the Nazis? I just laugh because these people, they genuinely believe that they're not. They genuinely believe it. They employ the same strategies that the Nazis did. They have almost the same beliefs as the Nazis. It's amazing to me. God damn, bro. These people are just hilarious. Make punching Nazis great again. That is fantastic.
I think, yeah, there's a lot of interpretations of this question. I think looking at it though, to me, this is happening already right now, in the sense that I think I think on that side of the table, the interpretation for me feels like, yeah, we're kind of like, they are asking for like, we like the KKK, like make some characters about it. And I think that is a great direction to go in if there's a sense of self-awareness, or if it's something that, if this supervisor is more asking for a take on it. But I feel like this kind of thing is happening in the way of removal of quote-unquote DEI from games, this idea of wokeness, right? To say, when they say I need games to look like them, they so often just mean like, we want it to look like the world we want, or the world that we desire, and often that right now, I think it looks like removing people from the story, right? Removing people and undesirables from that world in order to make games look like them. And I think that ultimately that we're already seeing it, and I think it's really about pushing back against it and saying like, no, what are we trying to do? Or if there's an opportunity to subvert, I think that's fantastic. But whenever I encounter this, it feels so much more subtle.
You see how she says if there's an opportunity to subvert, that it's fantastic? Why? Why is it fantastic to subvert your audience? Your audience is expecting one thing and you're purposefully giving them another. Like, I don't understand why that's an amazing thing to her.
As a way of going, well, it's just that, it's kind of unrealistic to have these kinds of characters in it, so we're just going to remove it.
Right.
And I think that's where this one lands for me. But I am biased in that regard.
I'm sure there's some issues there. All right. The supervisor.
He said, I'm sure there's some issues in there. He literally said Kim Belair's got issues. That's great. That is fucking awesome. Yeah, we could tell, Kim. We could tell.
Suggests tapping into a new market by creating games that cater to an audience whose prominent figures. I think it's the same we had before, so I'm going to skip this one. Your company announces a shift to merit-based promotions, claiming that DEI efforts have become too political.
Yep.
However, there are no clear criteria for advancement, and you notice that promotions disproportionately go to those with close ties to upper management. How would you address this?
So, that actually, the ironic thing about this is that, okay, so if a company announces merit-based promotions and they are inherently going to people who are basically close to upper management disproportionately, what does DEI have to do with somehow preventing people from getting promotions that are close to upper management? So even if you hire people based on their skin color and do DEI hiring, it doesn't matter. The people who have ties to upper management are probably going to get the promotion first anyway. So all you're doing is just hoping that the thing you're about to complain about, you would prefer if it happens to a black person over a non-black person.
And we'll leave it the side. We're just going to move on from the side. That's going to be the answer.
Carl, I'm tired.
Yeah,
You're tired?
If anyone knows how to do this,
Oh my God.
Like I know it. Like this exact scenario exhausts me. I've had this conversation more times than I'd like throughout my career, and every time
This guy's annoying.
I have refined my tactics. But whenever someone's like DEI initiatives are failing, I'm like, oh, y'all were promoting based on like that? Because I would have what you think DEI is, because I didn't get promoted. So like, who are you promoting? And now it's merit based. Like DEI wasn't supposed to do that and make it so that people of color and women and other minorities get opportunities that were historically excluded from them. When they forget that point,
It wasn't excluded from them. They just couldn't compete. Or they just weren't interested. It's just simple facts, bro. You can try to be upset all you want about it. But I'll tell you this. I'll challenge you, Jabrari, because it seems like you like to, explore black neighborhoods a lot. So here's what I will ask you to do. And you can prove me wrong if you want. I want you to go to the Bronx, preferably during the daytime so that you're at maximum safety. I want you to go to the Bronx. And I want you to interview 100 black people. Young black kids. Male or female, doesn't matter. I want you to interview 100 black kids and ask them what their dream job is. And then I want you to go to a notoriously white neighborhood. And I want you to do the same thing with those white kids and ask them what their dream job is. How many out of those 100 black kids do you think are going to say that their dream job is to code or make video games or whatever the case may be? How many do you think are going to say that's their dream job? And then you're going to go to the white neighborhood and ask them what their dream jobs are. Again, You're saying that they were excluded from those opportunities when the simple fact is different cultures produce different results. Do you see white people complaining that they were excluded from the NBA disproportionately? I'm just saying. It's a simple fact of life, and you guys are trying desperately to use that fact of life to push your nonsense, because the simple truth is that you cannot compete at an even playing field. You can't compete at an even playing field. You know who can compete on an even playing field? The women, the black people, and the gay people who got jobs in the gaming industry before DEI. They were able to get jobs under the same qualifications as the white man. Asian people too. They were all able to do it before DEI. Then all of a sudden DEI came in, and now it's like, oh, you have to have us. You have to have us. If you don't have us, well, that's just racist. You're trying to create this level where you bring your skill up to their skill while actually not getting better at your job. You can't compete. That's just the simple truth of it. You can't compete without there being a caveat to bolster your success over another.
It's gotten to a point where I don't even bring that up anymore because they just don't believe that that's what it is. I just start having to demand what the merits are. Like, I need to see what merits you're looking for.
Yeah, there's a word, equity's in the name, right? Equity should mean merit, right? Like, did they ignore that? Yeah.
You know, media literacy is dead, Carl.
I'm sorry. I apologize for my ignorance.
Media literacy is dead. Yeah, because these people, you know what media literacy is to these people? Media literacy to these people is looking at a game like Final Fantasy VII. It has a multitude of different aspects of the story. And they're like, oh my God, this game is totally about saving the environment. Yeah, just look at, how could you not see that? The entire premise is about saving the environment. I mean, just look. You have an eco-terrorist group that is fighting against an evil capitalistic organization. Of course it's about saving the environment and anti-capitalism. That's the entire point of the story. No, bitch. The entire fucking story is ultimately about Sephiroth. That's like these people will look at the smallest details and they will say that's the entire story. That's what it is. It's like, I'm sorry, did you get past disc 1? Did you get past disc 1? When you left Midgar and you went on your adventure to take down Sephiroth and come to find out his origins and Cloud's origins and all that, like the real story, the real meat of the story, not the fact of Shinra. Which, by the way, here's the hilarious thing, right? So these people that use media literacy, they'll talk about Final Fantasy VII, and they'll be like, oh, yeah, Barrett, he's an eco-terrorist. He cared about the environment. Mind you, Barrett in Advent Children became an oil man. And you mean to tell me he cared about the come on, bro. You think Cloud cared about the fucking environment? I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying. It's ridiculous, man. Anyway.
Jabari, I can hear you. I can see it. I can see it. The taste is there.
Everyone is time.
Javier says no spoilers. No spoilers on what? A movie that's like many years old? If you haven't watched the movie by now, you were never going to watch it. I'm sorry. I apologize. Just is what it is. Much love to you, though. Here we go.
Yeah, I mean, this is a tricky one, you know. I think that sometimes we have to understand
Better play that backlog then.
that things very much, people are the way that they are. Sometimes we don't want to, sometimes it can be dangerous to assume folks are going to act outside of the way they've always been acting. And I've kind of been saying this a lot all the way back to, you know, the awards and, you know, and everything like that. Like, if folks have done a certain thing time after time after time, right? Like what's happening right now in games is very much like an abusive relationship. And we keep expecting folks to do different when they've done the same thing over and over, right? And so I think we really need to like pay attention.
So can I just make a statement? Can I make a statement? So this is supposed to be an inspirational panel. This is supposed to be a panel about black, like being black in the gaming industry. And this entire panel has been nothing but absolutely fucking miserable the entire time. The entire time. Like, what the hell, bro? How are we this miserable? I don't get it.
And learn the lessons.
Yeah.
Love that.
And I would add that, you know, when DEI efforts were in
Good job,
intact
Sonia,
in
banning
some
that
way, it
guy,
wasn't
that
like it was
fucking
like,
idiot.
oh, there's
Look at
no
that guy.
racism, right? It's I think that's it. It's whether or not it's removed, proportions have largely gone disproportionately to friends of upper management, right? That is simply a fact. And I think that
Guess what? That's how it goes in every single field of work. Every single field of work literally has that problem. You're not going to change it in yours, and it's not going to change anywhere else. It has been that way since the dawn of corporate life. And you're going to be what? That person who just sits there and constantly complains about, oh, I didn't get this position because they're friends. Like, really? You think that's happening every single time? You think every single promotion was passed up on you because of the fact that someone was friends with upper management? Maybe you're just not as good as you think. I know that's hard to accept, but perhaps your skill level is not as high as you think it is. See, the problem is in the corporate world, everybody has to sniff each other's farts. So they'll lie to you and tell you you're amazing. But when they're behind closed doors and they're trying to figure out who to promote and your name's not coming up at all, then you're probably not as good as you thought you were.
the push against DEI might give you more words of how to express that. But I think that reality is inescapable. And I think that so many of these kinds of questions end up kind of going like, if you are in a system that is unchanging, kind of grinding people around you, so often you either have to kind of find a way to move your own path through it or exit that system, versus being able to find any way to push back against someone who's like, yeah, I'm going to hire my friends because I don't believe in DEI. Like that's not a mind I can change, I think. And I think we will all get even more tired trying.
That's fair.
Yeah, I want to add one little bit because I think, we got so many people coming into the industry, been in the industry. I think just something about career in general that I think a lot of people know, but I just want to make sure is out there, is a lot of getting jobs, getting promotions, all these things. It's really very much so who you know and the relationships that you have with people. It's always been like that. Yeah, there's some racial dynamics to it, but it's way deeper than that. It's really about relationships.
That's true.
And so it's like, if you want to be in the game, you need to know how to play the game. That's never going to change.
Finally,
and
somebody
just reminding
somebody said something intelligent. Finally. So you admit that that's the case. It only took you so long. Holy crap. It's about time.
This is something that we forget. I forget this all the time. We're in the game industry, but it is a business, right? And the saying, show me the money. You got to show them the money. You got to show how much money you're bringing into the business, how much you're worth, and that you're bringing more than.
Move the end? No, I want to keep the end
whoever.
up there.
Because when people, like, regardless if they're your friends or not, if you start
It
messing with
matches the
people's money,
conversation
that's
that
when
we're
you
having
start,
right now.
like, disavowing friendships, if you start like showing like, hey, I'm unhappy right now and I make a quarter of your business and you're trying to promote your friend and I'm going to leave with a quarter of your business, then people start becoming disloyal to their friends. And and I've been in situations where that still happened, where like I proved the numbers, I showed the receipts, and they still hired their friends. I left, and that business crumbled. And they came back like, oh,
I highly doubt that. I hate when I hate when people say that. I hate when people say because I left, the entire business crumbled, bro. You're not that important. You are not that important. That does not happen 99% of the time. Of course, there's that 1% chance where you were so influential. You were so influential that perhaps, things went south after you left. But to think that it was all because of you, it's like, bro, that is narcissistic as hell. Let's skip the nonsense, skip the bullshit. But again, I'm not surprised considering that this is an industry filled with narcissists all throughout.
we had to hire 6 people to replace you. I'm like, that's not my problem anymore.
We had to hire 6 people to replace her. That's how good she thinks she. Man, you making this shit up. You making it up right now. Can we stop?
What are you telling me?
There's also accidental kind of situations. I mean, like they're not being racist or sexist. They just do something that creates a situation. Like I remember it's about 10 years ago now.
Yeah,
one
the
of my
other guy
friends
was
talking
falling
about
asleep.
how he got promoted. He said, "Well, the guy who was in charge of me loved to play video games late at night. So we would go over to his hotel room and play video games late at night. And during a conversation, he was like, 'Yeah, you want this job? Blah 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 blah.' And he was like, 'Yeah.' So I just networked. I was like, 'Yeah, but that disqualifies a lot of people. No female employees going to a guy's 11 o'clock like hotel room and hanging out every night because they want a job. Like that makes no sense. Like nobody who has kids can do that. Like there's all these employees that can't access like the 11 o'clock happy hour time to like get the promotion. Like that makes like I understand how it happened, but that's not.
Why? What does going to someone's hotel room have to do with networking? Who does that? Who does that? What? There is a multitude of different ways to network without having to go to someone's hotel room. Kim would do it? Yeah. Well, yeah, only if you're Bowser, but still. Bro, these people, you know what it is? I'm going to tell you exactly what it is, man. Seriously. These people are so used to making up excuses for everything. For literally everything. Everything wrong in their life is at the fault of something racist, usually. It is sad, man, but it's exactly what it is.
Not fair to everybody. Like that's a very specific kind of person who can do that in their 20s when they have nothing else going on, and a certain kind of even gender or safety issue, like there's a lot of things with that. And that's when he finally understood, like, oh, I never even conceived that that people could not come to that. You know what I mean? Like,
I have a complex relationship with that particular scenario because I believe the first 3 jobs I got in this industry were gotten through connections, mostly through my university, of people who I knew who could get me in the door, right? I still believe, and I firmly believe, that they only opened the door and I got the job on my own merit, but
yeah, okay.
It is part, as Jabari was saying, it is part of the game industry game right now, and it's not going away.
Right.
For me, what I learned very quickly early on was when you encounter
His back
this
door got
scenario,
open. Oh yeah.
if you're not in the in club, you're not getting in.
Right.
So the best place you can go is out, and I found that I could get promotions much more quickly by going to a different company if they weren't willing to promote me internally. Because I learned AAA companies have bigger budget for hiring than they do for promoting, which is, by the way, the dumbest thing. What do you mean you want to pay an external person more than the person you're already paying to do the job they're already... I'm stop.
Wait, I have to
I've
defend.
triggered a point. I've triggered the trauma Jabari's experiencing is not the representative of the whole panel. So you know.
Look, I have to defend a AAA because I'm the AAA representative here, right? So,
Yo,
like, if you
so
wanna
so the only one with a brain on this panel is the Asian. Why am I not surprised? The only one with look, this guy's tapped out. The guy on the left is tapped out. That's how I feel right now. The only one with a brain is the Asian. So far, she's the only one. She has literally debunked everything these three have said this entire time. She's debunked it. She's like, no, we don't need any kind of race or anything involved in character creation. People just want to connect with the connect with the character if it's well written. Yeah, like AAA, that's not necessarily their fault. You know, it happens all the time, happens everywhere. This guy's like, let me out of here. I just want to go home. That's it.
promotion in AAA, you have to demonstrate business need, right? You got to speak corporation. Like if you're already doing it, that's not a business need. Like they already have somebody doing it. You have to like actually pitch and sell that there's like a gap in the company that we need to create a position for. And guess who's most qualified to do that? Pam. Pam is most qualified.
Pam's class after this session will be available on Zoom for $1,000 per year to get your promotion. Okay, next question.
Bro, she's never
Your
getting
company
invited
added
to
a
the
black
cookout ever again. Ever again.
Character in a game, and the portrayal is one-dimensional.
Carl,
and
it didn't shift over again.
What's
Yeah.
going on? All right. It's just making me upset now. Your company added a black lead character in a game, but their portrayal is one-dimensional and riddled with cliches. When you suggest improvements...
Oh, so like every black character that gets made these days? That's the sad... Like every black character is riddled with cliches and stereotypes? But okay.
You're told just to be grateful. There's representation at all. How do you push it for being better without being dismissed?
I'm going to chime in here, although I know like Gerard's got some gems here, but I think that this is a very straightforward one because there's just already so many proofs of concept. So like stale, boring writing and boring characters will hurt your game regardless. Like this is not even like a race thing or a DEI thing or anything like that. This is just like poor quality narrative. And there's a lot of examples you can pull where it's been done shitty and games haven't sold well, and when it's been done well and they've sold well. So I would just lead with the facts and keep it there.
Yep.
Gotcha.
That's
Yep,
it. Yeah,
right
no,
on.
100%.
All right. Jawari?
Be grateful. They said they better be grateful I show up to work after that.
Carl be trying to trigger us with these.
Bro, he is...
these are real...
He is an insufferable employee. Seriously, like why would... No wonder you didn't get promoted. You're fucking insufferable, bro. Who's going to want you to lead a team or anything when you're acting like this? You're insufferable. Seriously. What the
Scenarios. It's not like I'm trying to trigger you.
I know. If I heard that at a workplace, like someone actually said that to me, I would consider that an unsafe workplace at that point and start looking for a new job.
Unsafe
and tell them
workplace.
good luck with their flat characters.
Yeah, just to add, I did get this this is very directly. And
You always could.
For better or for worse, I created Sweet Baby Inc. about it. Because I will not say who I was working for before I founded that. It's findable. But I was brought into a room shown a cast of
Ubisoft. She was working for Ubisoft. Ubisoft.
15 characters, of which there were 3 black ones, and I was asked why I had a black agenda and why I was trying to create these things. One of the black characters, by the way, was a white guy. He was just the adoptive parent of a white character that existed, and he was, I think he was said to have been Jamaican or something, and he was white.
Oh, sure.
And so I had to sit in there and defend it, and it was the time that I said, oh, I can't do this anymore. And I ended up saying I want to build a company where I can create narratives and tell stories and understand that representation is a form of innovation of character, right? That's exactly it. Like, to represent a character is not to show a picture of them and to be like, here's a token character that vaguely looks like the idea of you, right? It is to create someone who resonates with you on yes, the level of identity, but also the level of just, humanity and of personhood. And so I think that the biggest problem with this is this idea that that's what representation is, right? Representation is, and I think I'm always saying it is we need to start touting representation as a form of innovation of story, innovation of narrative, and just a betterment of narrative design versus something that's like, it looks kind of like you though.
Yeah.
You know?
Got you.
Yeah, I would.
Bro, all of this is literally just saying nothing.
Kim said, but I would also add examples.
Yeah, I got to be honest with you guys. There's like a whole nother half to this. A little under a half to this. I can't make through it. I can't make through it, bro. I'm falling asleep over here. These people, not only are they boring, but they're also unbelievably full of shit. They are full of shit. I can't deal with the lies. They're narcissistic as hell, and they're sitting up here like just flat out lying to people. And again, I thought I was going to see a panel of black creators, and I got 2 non-black people up here. This is very similar to the Gaming While Black documentary that's being worked on. They decided to interview a non-black journalist. A very non-black journalist. Make that make sense. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I know Spanish JT is gonna react to this with Master the TDS, and maybe he'll do the whole thing. Those guys like shit like this. I can't deal with it. I can't deal with it. I tried. I'm literally like dying over here. I can't do it. It's bad enough I just got over south of midnight. I can't deal with this shit right now. All right, let's catch up on super chats really quick. Damn, that took up the whole night, man. I'm gonna have to break that into 2 parts. Holy crap. Wow. Let's see. I'm scrolling. We got a lot of super chats. Hold on. We got Panzer Tank. Oh, that's not popping up. Why is it not popping up? Oh, it's because I had to restart it. Hold on. There we go. That should work. Let's see. Panzer Tank. For 3 months, Bigot Army Soldier. Says grifting developers of color. That's pretty accurate. Raptor Kratos with a 5. This bitch is the reason why Miles had all that gay shit in all his side missions. Wonkas. Facts. Monkey Man with a 2. Thanks. I'm never not hearing that laugh now. Kagami for a 20. Crunch. Mechanism. Guy is nervous and or hammered. I don't think he's hammered. I just think he was retarded. That's the problem. Adair Soto with a 5. You know what reminds me? The last from Austin Power, the villain who does the finger laughing. He reminds me of that. That's great. Shout out to you. Zelosi with a 2. Disclaimer, you will lose your brain cells. Yeah, mine are gone. Mine are literally gone right now. Mr. Vegeta with a 2. Picks posted Discord. $6 share my picks, Sigh. Well, again, to be fair, I don't normally share anybody's things when they donate. I only started doing it, but then I thought about it. I'm like, yeah, I probably shouldn't do that. But sure. What did you post it? I don't see where you posted it. You didn't post it in the bigot chat because Tifa would knock that down, so that's not gonna happen. Did you send it as a message? I guess. I mean, I don't really know. I don't even see it as a message. Vet Gamer with a 5. We all may look at Blair like she is the enemy, but she has speaking skills 100 times better than these others, that's for sure. I don't know if I would say that. I guess maybe to an extent. I think the Asian woman definitely was better than Kim in this scenario. And she was actually more logical, which is shocking, by the way. Willie Will with a $20 banger. Look at this guy. Shout out to Willie Will for a 20. He says, here's a scenario. His girlfriend calls him crying, saying that she's not pregnant. He laughs at her. Ha! I know you're not pregnant. You swallow. I thought it was really gonna go somewhere like serious. Kagami with a 20 saying, that's gonna be the new thing now. Panda Tank with a 10. You can tell they're lying when their lips are moving. Facts. James Op with a 5. But your took us, not a single one of those people would lift a finger to help their coworkers if it risked their jobs. I agree. Willie Will with a $25 banger. He says, here's another scenario. I liked my bike, but a black guy liked it more. Now that's funny. Thank you so much, Willie Will, for the $25 banger. I appreciate you. Dark Exile with a 5. Sir, they have no creativity. True. Coffee and Chocolate Games for a 5. So much easier to complain than to make a character that appeals to everyone. Like, I don't know, Lee and Clementine in The Walking Dead. True. Randall the Vandal for a 10-month membership of Bigot Army Soldier. Says, am I the only one who finds it funny that the person most obsessed with being black on the panel has damn near the lightest skin tone? It's true. It's actually true. But you know, I noticed that that's like a consistent thing with people who are like hybrid blacks. And they basically try to tie their whole ideology to the being black part, but they don't actually look at it at all for the most part. Who knows? But it is pretty ridiculous. Coffee and Chocolate Games. Yelling at me in all caps. Look at this for a 10. You have to make your characters relatable and appealing to your audience. Otherwise, you will fail. One-dimensional black characters will fail. So will any one-dimensional character. This isn't rocket surgery. Wait, why are we performing surgery on rockets again? I thought it was rocket science. I don't know. Could be wrong. Thank you for the 10. Raging D-Head for a 5. Kim is going to push that Asian chick off a subway platform. True. Death Star with a 2. Kim Belair needs to Google LeVar Burton. Oh, man. Xavier of Octavius for $4.99. Games are not meant to be influential. They're meant to be fun. They are meant to be a place of escapism. Not according to these fucking Marxists. GDR for 3 months. I love the Bigot Army. We need to toe the line. Sexy characters and games give me the eye candy I need. Shiitake. Bro, I agree. I agree, man. We're all on the same page there. Xavier 199. So glad that Sony dropped these retards. Facts. Raging D-Head with a 5. Equity equals merit. What the fuck? Are we changing the definition of words again? Of course. Any chance they could change the definition of words, they will do it. Because it's better for them if they can do it. It helps their narrative. It helps their argument. And that way they can easily, or I should say more easily, I guess put people in like certain boxes that allow them to control the conversation. So it doesn't really shock me too much. Where are we at? We got Hath Not Seen for 583. This right here is just a massive reminder why we hold the fucking line. I agree. Jeffrey with a 5. 14% of America's black. If 100% of them wanted to be in the game industry, that would only make 14% of the workforce. So DEI is a sham, bro. Oh my God, the numbers are beautiful. The numbers are beautiful when you put them all together and get a total understanding of it. It's great, man. GDR with a 5. Gaming question, is Monster Hunter worth buying? And does it have good replay value? Bro, Monster Hunter is literally just replay value. It's definitely worth the money, for sure. Xavier Octavius for 189. This is the depression panel. It is. They hated being there. They don't like being in the industry. You can clearly tell they all have their issues, and they're probably insufferable to work with, most likely. Then we got Super Kitty gifting 1 Hypnotic membership. Thank you, Super Kitty. I appreciate you. Then we got Mr. Melancholy with a 2. Unsafe workplace. Wow, this guy's a creep puff. He damn sure is. GDR with a 5. No one wants representation in a bad game. I want a good game that makes love to my eyes, ears, and my soul. Make my loins warmer. Shout out to you, bro. I appreciate you, GDR. GDR dropped so many memberships last night. It was insane. And then last but not least on YouTube, we got Trey Burkhalter becoming a member all on his own. Shout out to Trey Burkhalter. I appreciate that, brother. All right, on Rumble, we got Eric Jenkins with a 2. Yeah, Kim, dance, monkey dance. do a jigga for the woke white man. What a fucking sellout. That's insane. Eric Jenkins with $1. I hope this company supports my drug habit while I do not work and lose that money when I do. Oh my God. Eric Jenkins with $2. This is a panel of cucks and man booty takers. It's definitely man booty takers were in this particular panel for sure. We got Jink, Eric Jenkins for one. We have great black maid characters though. These people have never played 2K and Madden sell well every year. Eric Jenkins for $1. BBD is life changing. That's what several snow buddies said as their husband was downstairs cleaning the kitchen. And then Toasty with the Mosey for $1 says the laugh though. Mrs. Spanky's coffee for $1. Kim is like, okay, now I hate Asians. Thank God for Assassin's Creed Shadows that I can unlike her people. Now she'll protest Square Enix to make Tifa black. Wait, what? To make Tifa... Oh, wait, Forspoken. I'm sorry. Yeah, to make Tifa black. I read that right the first time. That's hilarious. Eric Jenkins with $1. Who doesn't love Spawn? Bro, Spawn is another one. Another black character. Toasty with $1. The spick-ass twink can suck my farts. Damn. I would say he probably would like that, but honestly, he seems like really hairy booty. Eric Jenkins for $1. God, I want to toss Kim on North Sentinel Island so bad. And then Eric Jenkins for $1. Nah, fuck interview. Wyatt in Memphis. Better yet, do it in Baltimore. Wow. And then we got Eric Jenkins for $2. Sorry, I was eating chicken, all drums, and watermelon intricate Henry. What I miss? Nothing, apparently. Eric Jenkins for $1. Ain't Kim getting monkey style by a white man? She was in order to start her company. I don't know so much about like dating or marriage or anything like that. But I know like for that she did for starting her company. And then we got John Common with $5. Motion to lock behind the 4th tier paywall. I don't even have a tier 3 anymore. You're trying to lock this behind the 4th tier paywall? We're not even gonna get there tonight. What are you talking about? What are you doing? You can't do that. Shout out to you. All right, guys. Today was awesome. It was a lot of fun. Let's close out the stream and let's do the waifu battle because it's already past 11 o'clock. And we gotta we gotta take this girl down. I don't know what we gotta do to take Misato down. But we need to figure out something because it's getting ridiculous, man. If she continues on the route that she's going, she will pass Mount Lady and Akino. And we cannot let that happen. We just can't do it. So let's go. Let's start the waifu battle and close out the stream. Here we go. All right, boys. The waifu battle is here. Now, if you guys are unaware, this woman keeps felting us, man. Misato has been absolutely destroying us. It is disgusting. It really is. It is disgusting. T-Jab says we are 109.88 away from tier 2. Shout out to you. Maybe we will get it. Maybe we will get it in here. Who knows? Who knows? We have another super chat. Hold on. Adair Soto with a 5 says, did they forget Mafia 3? There's a black character who has a great storage only and great character and also a lot more brutal than the other Mafias. They only remember what's beneficial for them. That's just the truth of it. Tifa Lockhart for $4.99. Thank God SBI didn't make me black and renamed me Latifa. I'll be a horrific nightmare. Hope Kata is finally feeling big in Vegas. He's not. He's not. He feels very, very tiny, which would make a lot of sense, to be honest with you. So, all right, guys, let us get into the waifu battle. What we're going to do is we are going to start off with the rules of engagement while you stare at our current champion who needs to get felted. She needs to get felted, man. I don't understand. What are we doing? Grade the merchant for $1 on Rumble. Hey, all, got my car back. Fuck extended warranties. Fuck SBI. Kim, get felted, you cunt. Eric Jenkins, we tag teaming this big ass chicken style. Side note, my wife's surgery is a success. Love all. Oh, congratulations, man. Congratulations. I am happy to hear that. All right, let's go over the rules of engagement. Rule number 1. All super chats during the waifu battle can and will count as a particular waifu, but the only way it's going to count is if you put the name of the waifu in the super chat first. You got to put the name first. If you do not put the name first of the waifu in your super chat, it will not count. It doesn't matter how big they are. If you super chat after the fact and you put the name of the waifu you forgot to put the first time, then I will make it count. Rule number 2. You can vote for any waifu regardless of who's on the screen. It doesn't matter. You can vote for the champion, who is Misato, or you can vote for the challenger, who you're about to find out. It doesn't matter who's on screen at the time. Last but not least, after the second waifu comes off screen, I will do a 30-second countdown. After that 30-second countdown, no more super chats are going to count. It doesn't matter how big they are. The last super chat that shows up on my screen will be the one that counts. So please, if you're going to vote, vote early and vote hard, ladies and gentlemen. Do we understand the rules? I know we don't. I know we don't. All right, guys, listen. Today's waifu recommended on Discord, like they almost all are. And hopefully she's got the cuteness that could potentially take down Misato. Because, man, I cannot get felted by this waifu. I don't understand. She was supposed to be a quick time waifu, and now she's not a quick time waifu. I don't understand what's going on. The only problem is I don't think I changed the waifu challenger clip, so I have to change it probably live on screen right now, so ignore this. Now that's the real one. All right, boys, the challenger that is going to go up against Misato is going to be none other. No, there's not two challengers. There's not two challengers. It's just I had to edit. I had to upload the new clip. I forgot to do it before the stream went live because I'm still getting used to OBS and I got felted. The challenger that's going to go up against Misato. And I don't know how to say her name. I really don't know how to say her name. But the challenger is going to be none other than, how do you say her name? Lasus? I don't know how to say her fucking name. Miss Klein. Just make her name Miss Klein from Gundam Seed. Ladies and gentlemen, let's start the clock and let's see who is going to win. Lacuz. We're going to call her Lacuz. We're going to call her Lacuz. I'm going to put her name in the chat right now. Fuck. I fucked up. There we go. I was alternating through tabs. You got a sneak peek of Misato. Hey, yo, that's crazy. That's crazy. She could take my Gundam Seed. That's crazy. You need to repent, bro. I'm putting names in the chat right now. Champion is Misato, challenger Lacuz. There we go. I pinned it in the chat right now. There you go. There you go. There you go. Let me go back to the main screen. Switch over to fan funding. All right, here we go. Why are they not all coming up? This is so weird. We got a Dare Soto with a 5. Oh, another one bad day. LA, it's a video game on PC. Mrs. Spanger's Coffee for $1.99. Shion, both are meh. Eric, Mount Lady can suck it. That's crazy. Sergeant Sapien with a 2 saying Lacuz. And then we got squirting emojis. We got squirting emojis, ladies and gentlemen. Lots and lots of squirting emojis. That's incredible. Shout out to you. And then we got Louis Messina with a 5 saying, Masato, sorry, boss man. There is only one lady that will be able to defeat Masato. That chick, well, it's a mountain of fun. I can't, man. I can't let it happen. Not right now. Mr. Melancholy with a 2. La Cuz. John Common with a 10. Masato. That was a hard choice. La Cuz is cute, but I cannot be faithful or unfaithful to my first anime gooner crush. I respect it. Anime Mania with a 2 saying La Cuz. Yamato 85 with a 2 saying La Cuz, because she's my girl. GDR with a 2 says Mount Lady. It's not happening. It is not happening. I keep telling you guys. Nobody listens. Gray the Merchant says he got his car back. Over on Rumble, it says fuck SBI. Eric Jenkins with a 2 says Maki rematch. Not happening. Mr. Vegeta says Masato. The pic sharing part of Discord wasn't really mad, just a little annoyed. Been looking forward to sharing those all day. And SSI doesn't go far, so every dollar adds up. I'll see if I can grab it quickly before the stream's over. Hornstar with a 10. Masato sticking with it. Fair enough. Eric Jenkins with a 5. Mount fucking Lady. Eric Jenkins, you're just not, like, it's just gonna be a thing, man. All right, it is time to bring out the champion of the Waifu Battle, who is none other than Masato. Ladies and gentlemen, let's start the clock and let's see who is gonna win. Is it going to be Masato or is it going to be La Cuz? Let's find out. Dragon with a 5, La Cuz, because she showed her shit. I mean, you're seeing Masato's shit now too. Blackguard with a $50 banger. I owe you a Kata clip. I owe you a Kata clip. Blackguard with a $50 banger says Masato is an OG waifu and I'm gonna back her. There are better waifus, of course, but in this battle, Masato got my vote. I respect it. I respect it. Abhorrent Soul over in Rumble says this is going to be a wash. Little does he know, there are people waiting in our chat right now to turn the tides of the battle. It's happened 3 times already. More than that, probably. Why would you even get comfortables beyond me at this point? But thank you, Blackguard. I appreciate you. We got Crowbar the Skull for a 2 says La Cuz. Sounds like a Puerto Rican gang. It might as well be. Eric Jenkins with a 5 over on Rumble says Mount fucking Lady. This guy, man, I'm telling you. GDR with a 50. I owe you another Kata clip. I owe you another Kata clip. GDR with a $50 mega banger. And he says Masato Purple Nurple. Respect. Respect. Dragon with a 5 saying Masato Crimson is from the streets. Bro, are you calling out Crimson Jet already? Are you oh my God. What is this? Lax? GDR for 200. Lax is going to win? Who the fuck is Lax? You just gave $200 with no name. Who are we talking about? Oh, he fixed it. He fixed it. All right, he fixed it. Bro, what a plot twist. GDR gave 50 for Masato, and then he gave 200 for La Cuz. What the hell? What the hell are you doing? Why would you do that? We're supposed to be challenging Crimson Jet. Crimson Jet's hiding in the chat right now. What is with this anime betrayal? What is with this? Is anime betrayal right now. Eric Jenkins with a 2 says Mount Lady this bish. Bro, I am dumbfounded. What is this? Oh my God. John Common with a 20. Masato. Mr. Melancholy is threatening not to count my first 10. And then GDR fixed it with the $2 banger. Bro, what is happening right now? I don't understand this anime betrayal. We had it going good. We had it going good. Why did you put that towards La Cuz? Oh my God, dude. Oh my God. But you know what? Listen. Listen. Oh my God, these two are fighting. Oh my God, these two are fighting. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yo, who is Crimson Jet and how is he able to do this every night? Who is Crimson Jet and how? Bro, La Cuz was going to win. We need to defeat Crimson Jet, man. What is happening? How is this possible? Is this like an alt of ABF or something? Crimson Jet with $300 Red Boy Meg. Oh my God, that's another one. Oh my God, what is happening? No. I need to do the countdown. These guys are going crazy. I need to do the countdown. Rumble, I'm doing the countdown. Rumble, I'm doing the countdown. I know you guys get lag. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. All right, mods, that is it. The last super chat that is going to count is going to be Crimson Jet for a $200 Red Boy Mega Banger saying Masato. Bro, what just happened? What just happened? Can anybody explain to me what the hell just happened? This was like a Clash of the Titans right now. This was like, what just happened? I don't understand. I don't understand what happened. Somebody explain to me what happened. What happened? What the fuck happened? I have not seen something like this in a long time. Bro, hold on. Time out. Let me go back. Let me go back, man. GDR threw in like a $2 troll super chat. Fuck if I know why. And he's like Mount Lady because he's crazy. And then Crimson Jet threw in a $300 Red Boy Mega Banger saying, Masato, I'll have my girls back even if Gundam Seed is also good. That's what the Red Boy clip was for. I gotta owe you 3 more Red Boy clips. And then GDR for 200 says, La Cuz, you won't win here, goddamn right. Bro. What the and then Blackguard came out of nowhere. Blackguard came out of nowhere with a $150 Red Boy Mega Banger. Says Masato is still a top tier, top 25% waifu. She's not the best, but she's still a winner. Oh my God, dude. Oh my God. And then Crimson Jet said, screw that. Here is 200 again for Masato. Bro, I don't even know what to even say at this point. I really don't. GDR, that was absolutely insane. We got a couple of more Red Boy clips we got to play, but let's do the Pink Boy clips. We got to nuke the chat twice for Blackguard and GDR. Here we go. Shout out to Blackguard for that $50 mega banger. And then GDR with a $50 mega banger. Shout out to GDR for that $50 mega banger. And then we're going to get Blackguard, his Red Boy clip. Shout out to Blackguard for that $150 Red Boy mega banger. Oh, GDR must not remember that I said that City Sweetie was copyrighted. Can't use her anymore. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I apologize. But I gave you a nice long clip of AI women. Crimson Jet with the $200 Red Boy mega banger. Oh, I cannot believe this went down like this. I really can't. I really can't. Shout out to Crimson Jet. The absolutely insane $200 Red Bull. I don't even know what to say. Andrew Howell, unfortunately, did not count, brother, for 2, saying Masato. It did not count. Louis Pacina for 2, saying Big Boss Man, this fight in memory of McDuggins. Shout out to you. And then Dragon with a 5, saying Crimson sucked off a hobo. That's crazy. That's crazy. And then over on Rumble, we had some as well, by the way. We had some as well. We had Gray the Merchant for $1. Says GDR, you goonin' bastard. Also, Eric Stay Felton from Mount Lady, you bum. Crimson Jet, you goonin' legend. This is the epic battle of the ages of War of the Century. I had to dump one of them to the ocean. And then Eric Jenkins for $1 says Crimson Jet sells coke. It's the only fucking way. And then Gray the Merchant for $1. Blackguard, the savior of the Gooning League. Crimson Jet just 1v2'd and felted them hard. Holy shit, this is the battle to remember. I might have to dump 2 Gooners to the ocean or 1 Viking send-off. Damn. All right, we got the numbers. I know we got the numbers. I was just reading all the super chats. My God, dude. Yeah, needless to say, this was insane. This was absolutely batshit insane. Like, I don't even know. La Cuz had it for a moment. She had it for a moment, man. She had it for a moment. If only Blackguard joined La Cuz, this would have been really close. Damn. La Cuz got $417 flat against the champion Masato, bro. She's going to be a problem. She is going to be a problem at $801 flat. She is going to be a problem. She's going to be a fucking problem. Oh my God, dude. What are we going to do? What are we going to... The winner and still Waifu Battle champion is none other than the one and the only, apparently anyway, Misato. Ladies and gentlemen. Let's do it one more time, boys. One more time. Let's go. So, Abhorrent Soul said, give Crimson Jet some sleeping pills for the next waifu battle. Yo, Crimson Jet is becoming a legend during the waifu battle. It is ungodly, bro. Him and GDR and Blackguard and all these guys, bro. Oh my God, they fought so hard tonight. I haven't seen people fight this hard in a long time. This was wild. This was wild. I don't know who's coping and see. I'm coping because I'm out of ideas. I thought for sure we had something strong. God damn, man.
You are coping and seething. You just can't accept what you're seeing. Yes, you're coping and seething. The truth it is scalding, and now you are molding and coping so hard. Coping and seething.
And that's going to do it for the waifu battle. Ladies and gentlemen, Misato went backstage where she will face off against a brand new waifu champion tomorrow. Not champion, a brand new waifu, period. Tomorrow. Hypnocast, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, man. Oh my God, I'm coping, bro. I am coping. I don't know what to do. The True Aztec Warrior for 4 months says, hail the Bigot Army. What's up, bro? Hail to you, man. Did you see what just happened? It's insane. Blackguard with a 5 congrats. This was surprisingly and unexpectedly the 4th highest waifu battle combined total at 1,218. Yeah, I think at this point, people are going to start making alternate accounts in order to try to take someone down who's a big better, because you guys realize that you guys were capped out, right? If you wanted to keep going, you couldn't have unless you had an alternate account, because you guys were at, like, I know Crimson Jet was at 500. YouTube capped you at 500. You can't go past that for the day within 24 hours. So you would have been capped out. And then if everybody else donated afterwards, I don't know, man. Shit. But shout out to Blackguard. My man's keeping track. I appreciate it. GDR with it too. I won't let her win tomorrow. Uh-oh. Bro, I'm not ready for this. I am literally not ready for a battle between GDR and Crimson Jet. I'm just not. There's no way you guys got this much money. There's no way. What the fuck? How are you good? Like, you guys are, it's like the unstoppable force meets the immovable object. Like, what is going to happen here? What is going to happen here? I don't even know at this point. Andrew Howell with a 2 says, Misato, another dono that does not count. No! Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Shout out to Andrew Howell, bro. I appreciate you. You legend. And then we got Gray the Merchant for $1 over on Rumble. Says, sent La Cuz, GDR, and Blackguard to the ocean Viking style. Crimson Jet, congrats. You are now the John Wick of the waifu battle. Be ready, my man. Also, great battle law. Bro, Crimson Jet is going to have all the eyes on him now. All the eyes on him. Crimson Jet just said in the chat that he almost went to Rumble. Bro, the amount of strategies that these men are going to incorporate to try to take each other down probably tomorrow is going to be astronomically ridiculous. I'm not even ready. Like, I'm not even ready. Deadeye says, let it happen, Hypno. As Tai Long says, our duel will be legendary. Bro, this is going to be a bloodbath. I almost want to be like, these two need to relax. These two need to relax. Yo, oh my god, dude. Anyway, I will say that was pretty exciting though. Again, the money is great and everything, but this is actually like really top tier entertainment. Seeing people battle it out like that, I genuinely want to see this go down. I swear to God, this is actually really entertaining. But it's also scary at the same time. Do not put yourselves in a hole, though, for the waifu battle, people. Do not put yourselves in a hole. I'm serious. I'm serious. I appreciate the donations, but don't fucking put yourselves in a hole, ever. I have to say that. I feel like I have to say that, because I worry about you guys, but still. Rye Guy says, no, let them fight. Bro, everybody wants to see them fight. Everybody literally wants to see them fight. Y'all are terrible. I'm over here trying to be like, hey, maybe we should be a little bit, you know. Holy shit. Eric Jenkins with $1. They sell drugs, cocaine. Is that true? Probably. Oh my god, dude. GDR said he's gonna drop $1,000. GDR, no. You don't have to do it. You guys don't. I know you're not gonna listen, so I'm not even gonna bother. But you know where I stand on this. Again, I've made that very clear. Multiple times. I always get like this. Every time I get big donos like this, I always tell people this. It's just how I am. Anyway, I'm gonna stop. Anyway, I will say that sounds really entertaining, though. The battle between GDR and Crimson Jet. So we'll see. Abhorrent Soul gives 1 membership over on Rumble. You legend. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, brother. All right, we are fully caught up everywhere, guys. Thank you so much for the absolutely insane stream. Who's live right now? A lot of people are in Vegas, so most people are not live. Let me see. Who is live right now? You got Camelot, Smash. That's really it. That's really it. So I guess we'll just raid Smash then. We'll raid Smash. Let's do that. Yeah, because he's gonna finish the topic that I was doing anyway, so that way, you know, maybe you guys would join him at a time where you know. I also have an 11:30 video that just went live, so if you want to go watch that video instead, you're more than welcome to. It's the video that I had to delete earlier today because YouTube cut it like in half for some weird reason. I don't know why, but if you guys want to go watch that video, it is live right now. It's about Elder Scrolls Oblivion and the release date leak and the Game Pass leak and all this nonsense that's happening with Elder Scrolls. You guys can go check that out. I'm setting up the redirect right now. So that you guys can do your thing. Also, by the way, I have a poll on Hypnotic Live for you guys to decide what the next Griffcast game is going to be. Go to Hypnotic Live's community tab page and go vote, because I'm going to decide tomorrow. So make sure you get your voices heard while you can. I don't want to hear anybody say they couldn't get their voices heard. Make sure you go get your voices heard. All right, guys. Eric Jenkins for $1 says, fuck that. Mount Lady Rides tomorrow, bro. Stop it. All right, guys. Shout out to all of you. Thank you so much for the amazing stream. Thank you for liking, commenting, spamming the chat, and super chatting. I greatly appreciate it, and gifting memberships. Shout out to all you guys. And shout out to the Hypno Mods for doing what they do every single day. I appreciate you guys as well. I am out. I am done. I am gone. And I will see you guys on the next one. Until then, you guys go be bigots and go be gooners. And the raid is set up for the end of the stream. So you just got to remember, you got to stay about 30 seconds after the stream ends for you to be raided. Otherwise, you know, it takes a while. That's how OBS is. All right, go be bigots and go be gooners. Where's my outro? Bye. Hold on. True Aztec Warrior with $1. Thank you so much, True Aztec Warrior. I didn't want to miss it. And then Blackguard with a 5. Let's get a 3-way battle. Akino versus Mount Lady versus Masato. Bro, do you want the world to end? I'm going to leave you with that. Do you seriously want the fucking world to end? Because that's what you're asking. You're asking for the world to literally end.
I am not gay. I have relationships with women and sex with men. And I got news for you. That means you gay. Gay.
Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids. Her dog or her cat was named Vagina. Vagina. Vagina.
Put a ticket in, make her gay. Suck Indiana Jones, put a ticket in, make her lady gay. Fuck baby gay, put a ticket in, make her gay. It means put a chicken in a queenie and make her fucking gay. Fucking pronouns! Fucking pronouns! Fucking gender ambiguity! Fucking current day California shit! That's all we fucking know! Cause we're boring! We're so fucking Get it right!
At the touch of the black man, I bring life. 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 That's right!